Good morning and welcome back to the channel. We are in Val Di Fass this morning for the women's Super G. Just two left this week and next week. So exciting as we get down to the end of the World Cup skiing season, and the women's races are getting really close, especially the downhill. We had downhills on Friday and Saturday in Val Di Fass, a speed weekend here in Northern Italy, just about 20 or 30 miles west of Cortina, where we had the Olympics just a few weeks ago. And Laura Pirovano of Italy won both of the downhills on Friday and Saturday, which did something we didn't really expect. She was a couple hundred points back of Lindsey Vonn and Emma Eicher coming into the weekend, but the 200 points has put her over the top into first. So if we look at the standings there, I've got the Super G standings up here right now with Sophia Goggia in front, but Laura Pirovano, 436 points right now in the downhill, 408 for Emma Eicher. Really the only two with a shot at it. I know Kira Winkelmann is in third, but she's, I think, about 80 or 90 points back, so very little chance there. So the big final in the downhill for the World Cup Crystal Globe will be in just a week or 10 days in Kvitfjell in Norway. So today, Super G, 2 to go, this one and then the final, also up in Kvitfjell. Kvitfjell. I always get that one messed up. And here are the standings, as you can see. Sophia Goggia, 420 points, 84 points ahead of Alice Robinson of New Zealand. Emma Eicher, 304 points here to go with over 400 points in the downhill plus Super G points, is making a serious run at Michaela Schifrin for the overall World Cup. May even force Michaela Schifrin to race a few races that she would have not otherwise raced. So we're going to see how that all pans out. Emma Eicher in third at 304 points. Not eliminated, but she'd have to win today and tomorrow and hope that Sophia Goggia has a couple of bad races. All right, Esther Ledecka in fourth, Roman Miradoli in fifth, and Kajsa Virkhoff-Lee in sixth, Mallory Blanc in seventh. Now, looking at today's starting grid, we are 8 minutes away from the start. I am watching on Austrian television through my VPN. I use NordVPN. If you want, I can give you all a link for that in the description below. But the women's race today on ORF, that I'm watching them from Austria. With the Olympics, I didn't have to use the VPN. I'm here in Spain. I had RTVE TV, RTVE.es, a Spanish television station that broadcasts on the internet. And so ORF is loaded. We have commentary. Beautiful day, mostly sunny, tiny bit of haze. 1 degree C is the temperature. All right, 7 minutes to go. Starting off the race, let's look here at the start list. Nina Ortlieb, bib number 1, first to go down, had another little crash over the weekend. She had one good finish and one crash out this weekend in the downhills here in Val Di Fass. Now, one really interesting fact about the races yesterday and Friday that Laura Pirovano won. She won both of them. She won both of them by 1/100th of a second. Unbelievably close races. The course is a little shorter than it normally is. And of course, when a race gets shorter, the times get tighter. The differences get even shorter. And here we are with 1/100th of a second being the margin of victory for both races, Friday and Saturday, with Laura Pirovano winning both, and she'll be starting with number 13. But back to the start list. Nina Ortlieb won, Miriam Puchner, so both of Austria, number 2. Corinne Suters had a great second half of the season, starting with the Olympics and back into these races. Now, after the Olympics, Ilka Stuart of Slovenia, 4th, Camille Cerruti of France, 5th, Alice Robinson, again, number 2 in the standings, number 6. Romain Miradoli starting 7th. Elena Cortoni of Italy 8th. Connie Hutter, Cornelia Hutter of Austria 9th. Esther Ledecka, the super crossover superstar snowboard and downhill skiing, famously won gold in the snowboard Olympic snowboard event in 2018, as well as in alpine skiing, I think in the Super G. So 2 golds in 2 different events in the same Olympic Games. Amazing stuff. Mallory Blanc, who we saw is 7th in the overall standings, starts with number 11. Kaisia Vikov-Lee, who's 6th, starts 12th. Laura Pirovano, number 13 today, out of the starting house, winner of both downhills on Friday and yesterday here in Val Di Fass. Sophia Goggia, again, the leader in Super G. You can see it up here, right there. 420 points. She doesn't need a whole lot. I think she's not entirely safe, but 84 points up is a pretty decent lead. Emma Eicher right behind her at 15, and she's 3rd overall. So if she were to win and Goggia were to crash out or something like that, it could get very interesting. All right, 4 minutes to go here. Who else we got? So right after Emma Eicher, Kira Weidler-Winkelmann, not in the top 7 in Super G, but I think 4th overall or 5th overall in downhill, having a decent season. Number 17, Ariana Radler of Austria, Roberta Malesi, 18 of Italy, Laura Gaucher, France, number 19, and then 2 Americans, Keely Cashman with number 20 and Breezy Johnson with 21. Elvedina Muzaferia of Bosnia-Herzegovina with 22. Nicole Del Lago, 23. Yasmina Suter, 24. And Jackie Wiles, 25. Let's finish out the second group here. Trisha Mangan of the US, 26. Joanna Halen, 27 from Switzerland. Nadine Fest of Austria, 28th. Valerie Grenier of Canada, 29. And Mary Bocock, number 30, of the US. And then what do we see? We see Michaela Schifrin has in fact signed up for the Super G to try to get points, to try to pad her lead or at least cut her losses today. If Emma Eicher were to win, they'd only be 17 points behind. So look for Michaela Schifrin to try to get as many points as possible. Try to keep that lead over Emma Eicher in the overall World Cup standings. All right, I can see that the warm-up skiers, the forerunners, are on their way down. Again, beautiful. It's actually not even that hazy. There's like one side off to the south where I see a little bit of haze. And because the sun is coming from the south, you notice that a little bit. But all in all, it looks like the entire course is in brilliant sunshine. So we will definitely keep everybody up to date on the weather, but the weather looks great. The course looks great. It looked great both days, Friday and Saturday for the downhill. I was busy, didn't get to cover those, but we're back and getting into this last week or 10 days real quick because we got about 2 minutes to go. What is the schedule coming up? We have, the men are doing slalom today. They had giant slalom yesterday with Loic Meillard winning that race. Friday, we've got the men's Super G from Courchevel. And then on Saturday, the men's downhill from Courchevel, and then another Super G in Courchevel as well. So 3 speed races next week for the men. The women have a giant slalom in Åre in Sweden on the 14th on Saturday. And then it really gets into that final week. We've got starting the 21st, so the 21st to the 25th. These are all the World Cup finals in Kvitfjell. That's it. It's a TFJ, Kvitfjell. So we've got men and women's downhill there, men and women's Super G there. So Saturday is downhill, Sunday is Super G, Tuesday the men's giant slalom and the women's slalom, and Wednesday the 25th ends the season with the women's giant slalom and the men's slalom. We're about ready to start here. It is, Nina Ortlieb is on course. All right, number one, coming down the hill, Nina Ortlieb, 15.78 through the first time check. We're going to see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 time checks, intermediates, and then the final time. And we've got only one speed trap today, which is close to the end. So watching her come out of the gate here, we've got about a 22 second lag is what I'm seeing. She got hung up a little bit, 15 seconds in on a blue gate, right turn, but otherwise looking good. It starts out with a bit of a gliding passage and then into some turns. She's kind of upright. I'm looking at her. I wonder if she did get hurt a little bit yesterday. So we'll see. 48.39 through the third time check. Struggling a little bit. I just don't see her getting deep into her tuck. She's had so many crashes. Crans-Montana, the Olympics, yesterday. I wonder if she's just a little black and blue and struggling with that. But here we come into the fourth time check now. 1:18 and her speed 1:08. So this is our first time. We're almost at the finish here. It's a really long Super G. I think it's actually longer than the downhill was, which is strange. All right, 1:30. 1:30.42. Nina Ortlieb is in the finish area. And we'll see what that time's worth. But I don't know. I just had a feeling like she just wasn't able to really get super deep into her tuck. I may be completely wrong. We will find out soon enough. All right, so what is next here? Wow, I'm having like a weird head thing with the background image here. So, all right, Miriam Puchner next up, also from Austria. Let's switch the background image and see if anything improves. No, it sucks. Anyway, all right. Miriam Puchner is on course and she'll be coming into the first time check in just a matter of seconds. 15:78 was the time to beat and she has beaten it by 12 100ths of a second. So Miriam Puchner up 12 hundredths through the first time check and heading towards the second time check. So maybe we'll see just how much that works out. Yep, she keeps increasing the lead, now up 34 hundredths, and her tuck is incredibly tight, deep, unbelievable. So yeah, we're definitely seeing that Nina Ortlieb was a little slow today, and again, crash yesterday, 3 crashes in the last 3 or 4 weeks, might just have taken its toll. Although Sector 3, Miriam Puchner, I got to watch now because something happened. She lost a quarter of a second to Ortlieb. I'm trying to see where it happened here. Yeah, just getting a little wide with the skis. Then the line dragging her down through that, oh yeah, through that right-hander there. So she lost a little bit of time there. And now we're coming into time check 4 and Puchner is behind. So lots of little mistakes for her after a strong start through the first 2 sectors. And she is now struggling to keep up with Ortlieb's time, but boy, a strong finish here. 21 hundredths made up in the last 2 time checks. Again, there's just a little bit of tentativeness. I wonder, is it very icy? It wasn't that cold last night, -3. Good speed, 108.5. So just barely ahead of Ortlieb. So very, very, very close. The two of them trading best times in sectors as we have our first 2 racers down the hill and into the finish line. All right, next up, Corinne Suter of Switzerland. Been doing really well lately on, let's see, what do we got here? Just real quick, is she started? She is started. Everybody, and welcome. Welcome one and all to the coverage today. Join me in the chat. Tell me what you think of the weather, the conditions, of the exciting races that we had yesterday and Friday. Both downhills being decided by 1 100th of a second, and both of them being won by Laura Pirovano of Italy. So that has catapulted her into the lead in the World Cup downhill standings with just 1 race to go over Emma Eicher. All right, Corinne Suter 200s back after the first time check, but now gained a full quarter of a second at the second time check, but lost most of that by the third. So a lot of seesawing going on today, back and forth between the skiers as they trade best times for the different segments. And I could see a section right there where Suter got a little bit wonky. Coming around, there's that combo about 30 to 35 seconds in where she just went way too wide. All right, coming into the fourth time check now, she's gotten it together, back up by 26 100ths of a second. Corinne Suter, 112 kilometers an hour, has blown away the speed of the other two racers, and she's going to come down and finish in 1:29.89, a clear and dominant best time for Corinne Suter after the first three racers. So Puchner and Ortlieb, the two Austrians who went 1 and 2, set the time very close to each other, and now Suter has really blown that out of the water. She is up 41 100ths of a second, almost half a second. All right, number 4, Ilka Stuets of Slovenia. She'll be next up. What's our interval today? Is it around 2:10? It's up here in the scrolling marquee. You can see it, 2 minutes and 10 seconds. All right, Ilka Stuets on course, heading towards the first time check. It comes quick, just 15.5 to 16 seconds in. So we're going to get to see that really quick. And there she is, 15:78. So I think it's the exact same time as Nina Ortlieb through that first section. So tied for third, the slowest first sector so far, but she's lost a little more time. Sector 2 now down to 23 hundredths of a second behind and moving along. Gosh, what a beautiful bluebird day. Unbelievable. It is March 8th, almost 11 o'clock in the morning here in Europe. And to see these conditions, all I want to do is go skiing. Unbelievable. Gotta love this stuff. And we're so close to where the Olympics were. It looks like there's still a decent amount of snow around. I'm trying to get a good look at the valley down below just to see how much of this they've had to make. I know, that was Ilka Stuets with a lot of speed going, but almost lost it there about 48 seconds in. Yeah, right at the third time check. But she was able to keep that advantage. She's still a quarter of a second up. Seems like the course is just a little bit technical, and we're seeing some tentativeness from the racers to really attack some of these really tight turns coming down through that middle section. And she's, her speed is number 1, 112.5 kilometers an hour, coming down to the finish, and she, just misses out, losing 3/10 despite the best speed through the speed trap. Unbelievable. She's up half a kilometer an hour on Corinne Suter, but still loses 3/10 from that final time check down into the finish line here. 1:29.96. So she did break 1:30, but wasn't good enough. 700s back. All right, Camille Cerruti of France on course and slowest so far on the first sector. 2200s off the pace already. I'm gonna get to watch over here now. We got this lag of about 22, 23 seconds maybe. See if she did anything strange. She made up a little time. She made up 600ths into sector 2. So just didn't get out of the blocks really well, but doing okay, keeping it down to 1600ths of a second behind. And wow, she's now up 2100. So she just put 37 hundredths of a second into Corinne Suter in the third sector. Great middle sector here for Camille Cerruti of France. And she's going to come now down. We've got, this is the big gap between time check 3 and 4. Sector 3 and sector 4 timing, they're about 30 seconds. So we got a bit of a blackout window for us here. We really don't know what's happening. I can see she went over the jump at 48 seconds. She was pretty cattywampus over that jump, just losing control. And again, just below that, a minute in. So I don't know. She's up half a second. She's actually going for broke. We got to see now. Oh, 3/100ths. She comes across the line 3/100ths of a second behind Corinne Suter. So we are starting to see a very similar pattern to what we saw in the downhill the last couple of days, where the differentials are just tiny. Okay, yesterday and Friday, both races, both downhills won by Laura Pirovano by 1/100th of a second. And now we have first place just 3/100ths of a second. Corinne Suter over Camille Cerruti, and then another 400ths back to third place with Ilka Stuetz. But now, one of the big favorites, Alice Robinson, is on course, heading towards the first time check. Remember, she is up here, you can see, 84 points behind Sophia Goggia. So this is the big bar to set. She's got to throw down a time and make Sophia Goggia work for it. But right now, she's not doing great. The first time check was very slow, the slowest so far. So see if she can get it back together. Yep, she made up 400ths at the second sector time. And hopefully she can keep doing that. If she doesn't finish ahead of Sophia Goggia, it's going to be almost impossible for her. Yeah, 3/800ths. Again, that middle sector. Corinne Suter didn't ski it so well, but Alice Robinson has done it. She's now up 1800ths. This is where Cerruti also made up a ton of time and went up a half second. But Alice Robinson now in this 30-second window between Sector 3 and Sector 4 time checks, and she'll be coming in to that pretty soon here. There she is, 82/100ths ahead. Alice Robinson through that technical center section. I'm watching it now. Absolutely flawless, way tight to the gates, making sure she's right on every single turn. Oh, beautiful. Even when the hillside's falling away to the left on right-handers and to the right on left-handers. Great stuff. And she's in first place, half a second ahead of Corinne Suter. So we're starting to get back some of the gaps. A wonderful finish for her after the set. Ooh, she almost lost it on the last gate there. She kind of almost grabbed her like left groin, like the skis just went like, whoa, right before that last gate. Like she almost like pulled a groin a little bit. She just looked very uncomfortable at that last gate. But yeah, otherwise, a fantastic run for her. Super tight, really well controlled, getting the skis pointed downhill and not having as much spray. Excellent, especially through Sector 4, where she made up over 6/10. All right, Romain Miradoli is on course and 1/10 of a second faster. Remember, Alice Robinson not really good up top. Was she 5th or 6th, 7th? She was the worst up top. So a great run by Alice Robinson from basically Sector 2 onward. All right, Romain Miradoli coming into the second time check now. Any second now, she will get a good sense. This is where Robinson started to make back a little time. Wow, they got a problem with the thing. Miradoli through 3 time checks now, up 300ths of a second. There's an artifact from Alice Robinson still sitting there on the timing sheet. So that's weird. But this is now Sector 4, Miradoli up 1100ths. So she's actually right there with Alice Robinson, but I could see a little slowdown over here on the side. Her speed, oh my gosh, and we have a tie. We have a tie for first right now. Alice Robinson and Romain Miradoli are tied at 129.41. Again, this back and forth between the two of them, up a little, down a little, up a little, down a little. They're matching sector for sector, and Romain Miradoli of France has come across in 129.41 to match the time of Alice Robinson of New Zealand, and that's going to hurt Alice Robinson. Going to have to share points there. No matter what those points are, if they both win, I don't know how it works. Do they get 180 between the two, get 90 each? Do they both get 100? I don't know. We'll have to watch. Up here it says 336 for Alice Robinson. Miro Delee's lucky. About a minute 10 in, she almost lost it. And you can see the reaction of the fans, really amazing when they watch this and they see that one ski just go off. All right, number 8. Elena Cortoni of Italy is on course through 2 time checks and is in the lead by 4 100ths. So got to wonder too, you know, is the course getting a little faster? Does it get some of the loose stuff off and just get more ice? But Cortoni having a pretty good run, and she stays 600ths up, so really tight again. Now, Suter, who we thought had a great run, is already half a second back of that pair, Miro Delee and Robinson, who are almost a half second clear of her, tied for first right now. Cortoni, though, coming into the 4th time check any moment now. We're going to see that. It's at about 117.4. See if she can match that 117.28. So she's up 12 100ths of a second with just 12 seconds to go. Can she keep it controlled through the last thing? Yes, a great finish. Super speed coming down that speed trap at the end. Cortoni, 6 kilometers an hour faster than anybody else, 115 kilometers an hour. So great speed for her, and she's blown this wide open. And I think, if we're honest, unless Goggia crashes out today, Alice Robinson is going to have a really tough time winning this Super G Crystal Globe. All right, Cortoni in first, and all of a sudden we have gaps again. 3,400ths from first to second. You know, first we had Suter and Cerruti and Stuetz all within 700ths, and then we got Miro Delee and Robinson tied. And now Cortoni has broken the barrier. You know, first we thought, ooh, we went under 130. Now we're at 129.07. So almost a full second just over that group too. So, all right. Next up, Conny Hutter of Austria with number 9. And she is on course and fast through the first section. She is 1,200ths up, but lost that time. 1,500ths lost in sector 2. Now 300ths of a second behind. Heading towards sector 3. These first 3 sectors come boom, 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 about every 15 seconds. And there she's lost a little more time, another 2/10, so she's 2,400ths back. But we have seen people making up time on the bottom of the course. So, all right, we've got that window now, that 30-second window between sector 3 and sector 4. I mean, she's looking good. She's hitting the curves really nicely, but now I'm just getting into that sector where she goes through sector 3. So in about 4 seconds here, we should see her come through there. Sector 4, 4,100s back, so she lost another 1,700s. Right now, if she keeps this pace, she could end up 4th, but I'm just not seeing it. 111 kilometers an hour, not very fast, but she did manage to stay in 4th place, 4,400ths behind. So a 10th behind Robinson and Miro Delee, but right now Elena Cortoni way ahead by 3,400ths after the first 9 racers. Italy having a great weekend so far. I mean, winning both downhills with Laura Pirovano Friday and yesterday, and now with Cortoni in first and Sophia Goggia still to come. All right, who's up next? We've got Esther Ledecka next with bib 10. Yeah, Conny Hutter losing it a little bit on some of those really tight right-left-handers and getting dragged out almost to the blue boundary line there as we watch the replay over here. All right, Esther Ledecka, one of my favorite ski snowboard athletes. Again, gold medal in both in the 2018 Olympics, gold medal in the snowboard, I think it was the parallel slalom, and gold medal in the women's Super G at the 2018 Olympics in Pyeongchang. And she's quick. She's 1800s up through the first time check, 2300s up through the second time check, getting faster with the best time coming through sector 2. This might be the perfect type of hill for her. I know she did the downhill yesterday just to get a feel for the course because they run on very similar bits of the course, but she's lost 3600s in sector 3 and is now a full 1300s back. So she's struggling a little bit there. You could see she got pushed way wide about 35 seconds in, and that cost her those 3/10 back up there in sector 3. All right, yeah, Esther Ledecka, I think she's probably got to be almost 30 already, but still, she still does both seasons. She still does snowboard and women's skiing, alpine skiing every year, but the snowboard season seems to end a little earlier, and now she focuses hard on especially the Super G. She is 4th overall in the Super G World Cup, and she's come in to the finish in 5th in 129.77, a full 7/10 back. So she's really lost quite a bit there. Still ahead of Corinne Suter, and that bunch, Suter, Cerruti, Stuet, who all three were within 700s, but way back of Miro Dali, Robinson, and Hutter, who were all within 1/10 of a second in second, third, and fourth. Actually, Miro Dali and Robinson, as we said, tied for second right now. Mallory Blanc is next. She's 7th in the World Cup standings with 193 points in Super G, but that's a full 227 points off of that discipline's leader, Sophia Goggia, and she is on course and a 10th up on Cortoni through the first time check. It's just so great. You're just looking at this beautiful course and the rocks behind. This is the western part of the Dolomites in northern Italy, so north of Verona, where they had the closing ceremonies, west of Cortina, where all the women's alpine skiing was, and kind of northwest of Venice, which I think everybody knows. So we are now about, past time check 3, 47.96, Mallory Blanc in first, tied for first. So maybe we're going to have another really close couple of ski racers here as she comes through. She's now 1/100th up. Her speed is not great, so I hope she can hold it tight, but no. Wow, she lost so much time. Her speed was 9 kilometers an hour off the pace, the slowest of everybody at the end. And I'm going to watch here just to see if, in fact, she had a big error at the bottom, because her speed was just like terrible. Through the speed trap, over the last jump, looked clean, but just no speed at all. And she lost 3800ths in the last sector, dropped her all the way to 4th. 3 100ths behind that pair, tied for second right now, of Miro Dali and Robinson. So Robinson still holding on to second place, and only hopeful now that Sophia Goggia will do worse to give her even a prayer next week in Kvitfjell. All right, Kajsa Wickhoff of Norway is started, and she had a pretty good time on the beginning, the first sector, 2/10 up on Cortoni. We're going to see what that's worth as she transfers down to the second sector time. Be about 30 seconds, 30.88. She increased her lead by another 12. She had a good weekend in the downhills as well, and looking really, really sharp through 2 time checks. She should be coming any second now into the 3rd time check, and she's still up. She lost 3/10, but she's still up by 2/10. And you know, her thing is she's technically really, really good. I'm trying to figure out what happened that she lost 3/10 here. So while we're in this kind of 30-second blackout window where we don't know how they're doing. I'm looking over here to see how she did on that section. Yeah, she got dragged out pretty hard on one of these waves that leads to a right-hander. Got out of her tuck. Oh, that's what it was. The second jump, she got lifted up and the right ski came up almost vertical. She was able to control it, get it back down, but it cost her time. She's now losing time, quarter of a second back, and 2600ths in the end. Second place, but 2600 behind Cortoni. And again, this hurts Alice Robinson because she's now tied for third. So now we have a bunch in here. Kajsevicov, Lee, Miro de Lee, Robinson, Blanc, all within 1100s. 4 people making up second, a tie for third and fifth, with Connie Hutter just another 700ths behind her. So all in all, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people within 1800ths of a second. Vikov Lee, really, really excited. She's jacked. Second place as it stands. And now we're getting to the real punchers. Pirovano, Goggia, Eicher, and Weile Winkelmann. This is where it all comes down to. These next 4 racers are going to tell the story today. Pirovano coming off 2 straight wins. And she's through the first time check. 900s up on Cortoni. I'm losing my video feed, but let's check out the times here. Pirovano, 2 wins in 2 days. Going for the hat trick. Going for the hat trick today. But yeah, the video's gone. 1400s. Laura Pirovano is up 1400s through the second time check. I'm working over here with my left hand trying to get back the video feed. Pirovano now only 500s behind through the third check, and now we've got that 29 to 30 second window where we just don't know. Yeah, not looking good on the video feed right now. So I'm going to work on that really, really quick. Pirovano still not at sector 4. But here she is. Oh, she lost a lot of time in sector 4, almost half a second. She's all the way down to 7th and slow. Pirovano will not be repeating her victories, and she's through in 7th place, 4600ths behind. So that bottom section, sector 4 and 5, really, really crushed Pirovano's hopes today. Oh man, she was right there, right there. All right, back to trying to get that feed going. Come on, guys, give me the feed. No feed. Let's try a different browser. Let's do everything we can to get it going. All right, Sophia Goggia, next up. We don't want to miss this. So let's keep an eye on the time. Sophia Goggia just about, yep, she drops in and is on course. I'm trying a different browser over here, get the ladies going. Sophia Goggia, same time as Cortoni through the first time check, 1588, even though that wasn't the fastest. It's not really what we're going to be gauging it by today. So starting with that second time check, and especially the third one. All right, Goggia, 300s back after the second time check. I'm going to reset my VPN. All right, Goggia, 1200s up now through the third sector time in 47.84. Yeah, Pirovano just didn't have it today. Maybe just a bit of a hangover from an incredible weekend. You know, she's got a really good shot at the downhill Crystal Globe. Excuse me. But Goggia now coming into sector 4. We got that 30-second gap here. And whoa, she's lost so much time. Unbelievable. I don't know what's going on here, guys. I'm going to try to clear everything out. But yeah, she's just not doing well. And she's through in 8th. In 8th. So well behind Alice Robinson. So the race for The crystal globe for Super G is on. If Robinson gets 60 points or 55 points, whatever it's going to be, and Goggia only gets about 25, that's about a 40, 30, maybe a 30-point differential. They're going to be only 50, about 55 points behind come Kvitjel next week. Unbelievable. Actually, in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. All right. Yeah, I am not getting anywhere with the video feed right now. Sorry, folks. I'm going to try all kinds of things. Clear history, you know, all that normal stuff. Meanwhile, Emma Eicher on course, pretty good first sector, 5th overall, 1600s ahead of Cortoni. Now remember, Cortoni really crushed it on the bottom. And Eicher is now 1900s up through the second sector, but this is where it all happens. Sector 3 and Sector 4 especially. Oh, Eicher is out. A DNF for Eicher. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That is... Okay. Something has happened here. Can't get the feed going again for whatever reason, but Emma Eicher did not finish somewhere between 31 seconds and 45 seconds into the course. Emma Eicher with a DNF. Unreal. Let me see what the news is saying here. They're doing interviews with Cornelia Hütter. But yeah, Emma Eicher is out of the race. All right, we are at a commercial break. So let's do this. I'm going to restart everything on my second screen here on my laptop and try to get us back some video feed. We've got about 30 seconds. Let's do the restart. Boom. Clear out everything. Get the VPM started fresh and so on. So Emma Eicher with a DNF, our first DNF of the day with start number 14, and with her being third, that basically eliminates her from contention for the small crystal globe for Super G. So it's really a two-woman race now for that small globe. And Alice Robinson, despite finishing T3, still has a chance because she's going to make up a lot of points on Sophia Goggia, who was only 8th today. All right, Kira Weidle-Winkelmann, we're going to see now what she can do. If she can finish in between those two, then it gives Robinson an even better chance of getting close. Now, if Weidle-Winkelmann finishes ahead of Robinson, then again, Robinson gets less points, fewer points. Goggia gets fewer points, but their differential starts to shrink. Anybody who beats Robinson is bad for Robinson. All right, Weidle-Winkelmann, a full 4/10 back at the second time check. So not great for her. She looks like she will finish behind Sophia Goggia at this pace. Oh my gosh, yeah, she's losing time everywhere. 1:16 back. I mean, she is so far off of all the pace. She's just way behind everybody. I don't know what's going on with her right now, but 1:16 back after just the third time check. Far and away the worst time that we have seen so far. All right, let's get back up to Chrome. Almost got the video back, hopefully in just a second here. Going to start a new incognito window. Vital Winkelmann, 2.5 seconds, almost at the fourth sector, and now crosses the line in 1:31.21, 2.14 behind in 15th place. So a day to forget for her. Okay, laptop is running. VPN is running. Got the website up. Will they give me access now? No, I'm just not getting any video right now. So tough stuff. We're gonna have to just deal without it for right now. But yeah, Ariana Radler on course, 3/100s up after the second time check. So a good run for her. She's had a bit of a mixed season. Did well at the Olympics, but yeah, also sector 3, people are getting crushed there. Just way off the pace, losing 4/10 in sector 3 for Ariana Radler. But yeah, no live stream for me right now. Sorry, guys. Ariana Radler coming into sector 4 now, into the time check. Should be around 1:18. We have 1:18.81, but also already lost 1.5 seconds. So not sure exactly what's going on there. Not a good day for her. We're really seeing a drop off now. But remember, we've got all the Americans still to come, and Mikaela Shiffrin is in this. And since Emma Eicher DNF'd, any points that Mikaela Shiffrin gets today boost her lead in the overall World Cup, which is down to only 117 points. So definitely something to watch out for here. That's start number 31. So right now we're at number 18 with Roberta Malesi of Italy through the first time check in 15:95. And in the lead after the second time check. But this is a pattern we've been seeing. Up top, people are really close. And then we get down to sector time 3, everything just goes boof. So, yeah. Phew. Roberta Malesi, yep, sector 3, like we've been saying, 4/10. She lost a whole 4/10 right there. All right, Roberta Malesi in that blackout window. I do not have video coverage anymore for whatever reason. The Austrians have gotten strict again even with VPN and figure out who's using that. Malesi losing time, losing speed, 6/10 back at the fourth sector check, and a little slow through there, sixth fastest, but we're going to see she's through now in 10th, 75 100s behind. So no effect on the standings. I would doubt that an Italian would try to get ahead of Sophia Goggia at this point. Knowing what it means to her in the Super G World Cup standings. All right, Keely Cashman of the US. Laura Gaucher of France is next. Let's get over here and see what we got. Yeah, Gaucher 19 on course. Keely Cashman 20 next on deck. All right, so Laura Gaucher, 600s back at the first time check. 9/100s back at the second time check. And this is, again, we've seen a pattern now ever since Cortoni went down. You can play with the big boys, with the big girls for the first 2 time sectors, but you really have to hold it together for sector 3. And that's what we're going to see now. Everybody losing a lot of time. And there we go again. Laura Gaucher losing 45 hundredths in those 17 seconds between sector 2 and sector 3. Yeah, we just can't get the video back. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Put some comments in there before. Nice to see you all here. We've got another couple of weeks of skiing with the World Cup, and we've got some tight races. We've got a really tight race in the women's downhill after Laura Pirovano won both downhill races Friday and yesterday here in Val Di Fass. And even though she's only 7th today, she did split Alice Robinson and Sophia Goggia. And that's the big story here for the Super G, because as you can see up here in the time, in the little window, the Super G standings, Sophia Goggia 420 points ahead of Alice Robinson 336. That's 84 points, but looking right now like there might be a good 25 or 30 points made up by Alice Robinson today in the Super G standings for that small crystal globe. All right, Laura Gaucher is through 17th. So terrible bottom sector again. We're seeing everybody lose. I don't know how you go from people being just a few hundreds. Yeah, we're group 2, but you know, come on. You know, these are still really good skiers here. But yeah, Vitaly Winkelmann to lose 2 seconds. Gaucher 2 seconds. Tough one. All right, Keely Cashman on course, lost a little bit already by sector 2, 3500s. If I'm not mistaken, that means she's going to be almost a second behind. Oh, not too bad, half a second behind at the 3rd time check. Good for her for holding it together through that 3rd sector and only losing an additional 17 100ths. This could be good. She could theoretically split Robinson and Goggia, and I think that's really the story today. Can anybody left on top split them? Right now, Cashman, 5200s back, 113. She's not going to be the one. She's already dropped there. You can see 6/10 in that 4th sector. I mean, it's a longer sector, yeah, but wow, people just getting crushed now in sector 4. So a really tough sector there. People are struggling. And Keely Cashman not going to be the one in 14th, 1.2 seconds behind, over 130 again. We had gotten down to the low 129s. 129.07 is our leading time right now. Elena Cortoni, a good quarter of a second clear of Kaisa Vikhoff-Lee in 2nd. Romain Mirodoli and Alice Robinson are tied for 3rd at this point, 3400s back. Then Mallory Bronk of Switzerland in 5th, just another 300s back. And then Connie Hutter of Austria, 4400s back, just another 700s behind. And then Pirovano, 200s. So points for her again today. Pretty good overall. I think she's still way back in the overall standings because she just was really slow starter this season. But with these 2 wins this weekend, plus now today, maybe a 7th place, Pirovano is going to make up a lot of points and a lot of space in that overall World Cup. So look for her to move up again with another, whatever, 25, 30 points in the Super G today. All right, next up is Breezy Johnson, and she is losing time heavily through all sectors. After sector 1, which we can just forget because it's just 15 seconds of gliding out of the gate. But then lost half a second in sector 2, half a second in sector 3. Breezy Johnson, clearly a little too technical for her today. Yeah, that's a lot of time. So yeah, the women, yeah, sorry about the video. I just can't see the video. I know if you're not there, you can't see it either. But Breezy Johnson on course and now in the finish. Worst time of the day. I know that's going to be disappointing for her. 20th out of 20 finishers right now. Only Emma Eicher with her DNF is, you know, technically behind Breezy Johnson. So Breezy Johnson, Kira Vitaly-Winkelmann had been the caboose today, but Breezy Johnson went another 1400s slower than Kira Vitaly-Winkelmann. All right, Muzaferia on course. All right, and she is right there at the first time check, and 3,500's back at the second. So people are losing everywhere now. Elvedina Muzaferia of Bosnia-Herzegovina, um, was it last year? She had a bunch of top tens, I think, just looking like she was going to be one of the next breakout stars in the World Cup circuit for the women. And it just didn't materialize this year. She didn't get quite back into form, and she's now a whole second down after the sector 3 timing. I mean, to me, the weather's perfect, the course looks perfect, unless the snow is warming up too fast and you're getting a lot of wetness. You saw that in the men's race yesterday. The men's giant slalom was from Kranjska Gora in Slovenia, and they had a shot. They had a shot of a camera shot with the camera right down on the ground, like looking across the snow past the gate. Nice shot, the whole thing. But you could see the water drops on the snow. I mean, it was, you know how snow is really white, powdery, and then it gets a little bit crunchy when it gets a little wetter, and then at some point it turns into this silver kind of reflecting droplets, and gets gushy, and that's what we saw, especially like artificial snow tends to get really funky and everything. So yeah, Muzaferia, last place, 3.35 seconds back. A tough race for her. She just could not get it together. Nicole Delago now also had decent results in the downhill this weekend. She's up next, but we do have a TV timeout. So I'm going to pull up the points to see exactly what the difference is between Robinson and Sophia Goggia now. All right, 100 for first. Here we go. Third place is 60 points. So the question is, do third and fourth share the points, which would be 110, which would be 55 each. Let's be conservative and say that's what happens here. So Miro Deli and Alice Robinson will get 55 each. Eighth is 32. So that's a 23-point gain for Alice Robinson. All right, so that means Robinson will end up at 391 and Goggia will end up at 452. So 61 points. 61-point differential with one race to go in the Super G standings for the World Cup Crystal Globe. All right, that's where we stand as far as that goes. Sophia Goggia doing enough today to keep it from being too scary, but not out of the woods yet. Nicole Delago has dropped in. Every time you see the name move from the starting house to the skier, that means they have dropped in on course and heading towards that first time check here, and there it is. Ooh, pretty good time. Nicole Delago, 800s up on Cortoni. Still not the fastest because that first time check, everybody's super tight. So here we come into the second time check, and she's still only 700s back. So she's right there. Remember, this is an Italian hill. The Italians know it well. Only Cortoni really nailed it today. Pirovano in 7th, Goggia in 8th. Didn't really nail it, but they should know this course better than anyone. And Delago will hit that third time check just about now. There we are, and boom, wow. 7,200s lost in that third sector. It's over for Delago. And it's over, meaning she's going to be so far behind that she has no chance to push Goggia down a spot. So yeah, definitely no activity here. But remember, we're just 8 racers away from Michaela Schifrin, and we know she's always good for a surprise. We know how good she can be in the speed events. She's done it in the past. She did have that really crazy accident last year in one of the races. I don't even think it was a speed event, but something stuck into her abdomen or something. She had a puncture wound, and it just, I think it got to her head a little bit on the speed events, and that's why we haven't seen her as much this year. But of course, she's been so dominant in slalom that it doesn't matter. And she today, of course, with Emma Eicher having a DNF, only 116 points behind. Imagine if Emma Eicher had won today, she'd only be 16 points behind Michaela Schifrin in the overall World Cup standings. And that's why you saw Michaela Schifrin starting today. And she gets bib 31 because you have Group 1, the 15 best, Group 2, 16 through 30. And then after that, people start based on their overall number of points in the World Cup. Because Michaela Schifrin is first in the World Cup, she gets to start 31st in a downhill or Super G, where she's not normally in the top two groups. All right, Yasmina Sutter, number 24 on course, lost a lot of time. Again, quarter of a second on the first, 3/4 of a second by the second time check, 161 after the third time check. So just struggling all around. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining. Let me know. Are you having VPN? Are you trying to watch as well? Are you having any VPN problems today? I was watching like the first, 20 people? Was it not even 20? I watched, what number did Eicher have? Eicher had, because it went dark on me, number 15. So up until Emma Eicher, I was watching everything right here with my NordVPN connection, watching the Austrian skiing. The Spanish are not showing it today. They showed all the Olympics, all the downhill skiing. I didn't have to use any VPN for that. But yeah, I am not seeing anything on that channel today. All right, Yasmin Suter is in 4.5 seconds back. She lost 13 kilometers an hour. What is happening at the bottom? This is crazy. Jackie Wiles now on course, 16 flat through the first time check, 1200s off the pace. But we all know how this goes. She's going to be like 7/10. There we go, 7/10 back after the second time check. So yeah, at this point, it's kind of hard to imagine that anybody is going to come in and split Robinson and Goggia, because that's really what matters to the Super G World Cup standings. If anybody can get in between Robinson in third and Goggia in eighth to further pair that distance between the two of them in points going into the final in 12 days, 13 days in Kvitfjell. All right, Jackie Wiles on course, losing time, 150 through the third time check. We saw Suter lose over 2 seconds just in sector 4. And Jackie Wiles only 1.3, but still terrible, terrible times right now as we go down. Who's next? We've got Tricia Mangan of the States, Joanna Halen, Nadine Fest, Valerie Grenier, Mary Bocock at 30, and then Michaela Schifrin at 31. Still some good people going. Yasmin Fleury at 34. Marta Monson at 39. So we still have some really good downhill skiers, but seems like the course is just a little too technical today. Could that be just too technical for these speed queens? So yeah, tough stuff. All right, Trish Mangan on course with a pretty decent time in the first sector. Got out of the gate well, 400s up on Cortoni's time, even though you can see that's only the 12th best time up top on the first sector. So now she's lost 2800s into sector 2, which puts her in 18th. So that's a little bit more realistic. Still better than what we've been seeing, because she's start number 26, and if she can finish in the top 15, that would be good. But no, she's lost another 4,500s into sector 3, and it's just getting away from her. Not nearly as bad as the racers before, but still, you would like to see somebody at least break the top 15 here from the second group. You know, that's always where the ski racing gets excited, where you get somebody from the second group finishing in the top 15 or better. You see people out of the top 30 breaking in and getting points, you know, which helps their standings in their careers. They get, you know, the more points you get, you move further and further up, and then, you know, eventually you get into Group 2, Group 1, and so on. But yeah, Trish Mangan in the finish now, 264 behind, in 22nd place. All right, Joanna Halen of Switzerland is next. Still waiting, guys. Tell me anything about the VPN that's not kosher for you right now, that's causing you problems if you're trying, because I tried 3 or 4 times, couldn't get it back. Rebooted my laptop because I got the laptop over here for the VPN viewing of the race, and over here on my desktop I've got the streaming software OBS installed, and try to do that without VPN just because it's so much faster. I get about 450 megabit here in Valencia, Spain, so it's really great for doing live coverage. All right, Joanna Halen, only 400s back through the second time check. That's really, really good. We're going to have to see what she can do with that coming into Sector 3, and that's 44 100s. All right, so she is 16th now through the third sector, which is the best we've seen in a while, folks. You know, so good to see Joanna Halen with a decent result going here. The start interval, by the way, you can see it up top in this scrolling marquee in the window here. Start interval 1 minute and 50 seconds. All right, Joanna Halen gonna have this window now, these 30 seconds where we don't get any information, and I was using that time to look at the live footage over here to kind of see how they got to where they were, mistakes they made or things they did well, because the lag between the timing window, which is right on time, and the video coverage is always about 24 seconds. I've seen that consistently throughout all the World Cups I've covered now, going back to Kitzbühel. I think the first one I did was Kitzbühel back in late January, and then to have the Olympic coverage, the same thing, about 24 seconds of lag there. But Joanna Halen, 20th, a little better than what we've seen lately among the racers, in 1:31:27. So again, they're losing a lot of speed at the bottom too. People are not hitting that speed trap with any kind of speed. But now Nadine Fest, 1200s up on Cortoni through the first time check. Now Nadine Fest is a young Austrian racer. She's got all the speed in the world, but she's just super inconsistent. But only 100th back now through 2 time checks. So this could be interesting. Let's see how she manages now as we come into Sector 3, 48 seconds in. Yep, ooh, she's top 10. Nadine Fest, 48:07, only 1100s back. So the course is still there. People can still race good times here. Nadine Fest is proving that. 48:07, 1100s back. That's 10th overall at that point. Although we're going to see now when she gets up here, it's going to be 118 something, 118.16, 8/10ths back, 13th, 8/10ths. Yeah, 8/10ths will only get you 13th. So she'll still be losing a bit, but if she still can somehow manage to finish in the top 15, that would be great. And yes, 129.90. Finally, somebody goes back under 130, only 8300s back, which means she actually gained time from Sector 4 to the finish. She gained 500s back and is in 12th. A great result for her. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to save her for next 12th place. That's good points. Let's see. Women Super G. Is she even in the top 30 for Kvitjel? Yeah, that might have just done it. She's 28th. Nadine Fest is 28th in the Super G standings. And with these points today, she could move up as high as like 24th or 25th. good race for her. Nadine Fest in 12th place. All right, Valerie Grenier of Canada on course through the second time check, 3,700s back. Now through the third time check, 9,200s back. And she did exactly what all the other racers had done up until Nadine Fest. They got hammered on Sector 3, and Nadine Fest kept it together on Sector 3. All right, so Grenier only 23rd after Sector 3, so struggling there for sure. Yeah. Thanks everybody for watching. Really good to see you here. Ski season is still going strong. Other things we like to cover: Formula One, which today was the first race. Spoiler alert, close your ears for a second. Crazy race today, with Piastri crashing out, I think, in the formation lap. Max Verstappen starting from 20th because of a crash in qualifying. Hadjar was like top 3, and then his motor blew up. We had like 6 or 7 DNFs in the Formula One race with all new engines, all new specs. Yeah, so a crazy one, but in the end, it was a Mercedes 1-2 finish with George Russell ahead of Kimi Antonelli, and then the 2 Ferraris 3rd and 4th, and then Norris in 5th and Verstappen in 6th. So you can open your ears again. I'm done talking about Formula One, but we're going to try to cover a bunch of those races with live commentary and live timing. You know me, everything's about A to B, whatever moves fast. I like to cover it: cycling, skiing, Formula One, a lot of travel related stuff, especially travel related, like where cycling, I can go cycling. Going to be doing some cool stuff this summer, probably the ocean to ocean bike route in France between Bordeaux and the Mediterranean. So that's really going to be fun. We're going to cover that. I just did a cool video about a road trip to try to see all 30 Major League Baseball parks in 30 days. And I used ChatGPT to try to figure out the most efficient thing. And you can see that on my channel. That just went live Friday evening, that video. So check it out. It's a good video about using AI to try to organize a really complex logistics trip to travel all around the United States, seeing all of the baseball parks in the shortest time possible. All right, enough filler. The moment we've been waiting for. Bib 31, Michaela Schifrin, trying to get as many points as she can to open the gap to Emma Eicher in second, who's in second in the overall World Cup standings right now. I think it's 116. Let's see, women overall. Yeah, 117 points between Schifrin and Emma Eicher. Then another 53 back to Camille Rast, who's not racing the speed stuff. Sophia Goggia in 4th, will not catch anybody today. Alice Robinson in 5th will move closer to Goggia, but that's about it. Paula Moltzon, of course, doesn't do speed, but she will be in the slalom and giant slalom races coming up to the end of the season here. Remember, we've got a 5-day kind of crazy schedule. We do have a speed weekend for the men next weekend. We're in a TV break right now. Don't worry, I'm not going to miss Michaela Schifrin going down. But we got a speed weekend for the men next week with Super G, downhill, Super G, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to try to cover all of those, while the women do giant slalom and slalom in Aure. The men will be doing the speed events in Courchevel. And then they have a break until the following Saturday, and then Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we've got downhills on Saturday the 21st for both men and women. Remember, it's only 30 people in the field. Then Sunday the 22nd, we've got 30 men and 30 women. So we're going to do both of those races. We might just do one big thing for both. And then the giant slalom of the men on the 24th, women on the 25th, men's slalom on the fifth, and women on three. But Mikaela Shiffrin on course. Let's focus here. Let us focus. Mikaela Shiffrin is coming up to the first time check, and she's 1585, so a solid first time check. Keep this up, 15th place. She'll make points, and points are her friend. Build out that lead over Emma Eicher coming into the last thing. Ooh, only 500s back after the second time check. It still puts her in 16th because the timing was so tight up in the top. So really, it's this third time check. Third time check will tell the story. Is she going to be the big surprise today and make a lot of points and break the top 10? Or is she just going to get some points to help her overall cause in the World Cup standings? All right, yeah, she lost 7/10 in Sector 3. So going backwards, not great for her right now. We just have to see how much time she can lose. What's a second and a half good for? A second and a half, 17th, 18th. So yeah, Nina Ortlieb is 17th, 135 back. Shiffrin now 150 back. So top 20 might even be a stretch here. Not very fast. Only the 22nd fastest speed in the speed trap. And she is through in 20th in 130.76. So World Cup skiing points by place. 20th place is something like 11 points. 20th place is 11 points. All right, so if she can keep that and nobody goes ahead of her, then her lead will go from like 117 to 128. Women overall, yeah, she's right, 117 now. Yeah, unless somebody passes her on course now, she'll be 128 points up on Emma Eicher with all of those events still to come. So of course, next week, slalom, giant slalom. I know that, Shiffrin will make a lot of points in the slalom to her good. Emma Eicher, I don't know how many points she has, but she's definitely not in the top 15 in giant slalom. So the question is, will she even go and do giant slalom? All right, yeah. Next up on course, we've got Sarah Aleman. She just finished with 32, 23rd, so she finished behind Shiffrin. And now Jasmine Fleury, and I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to watch, where we're going to go. We're going to go up to number 39, up to Martin Monsen of Norway today. So another 7 racers. Asia Zenere, we saw her with some interesting results at the Olympics. A good start, only 2,400s back after the third time check. Young skier, doing well in the speed events, and we could have somebody actually break into the top 15 here. 2,400s back after Sector 3, so she didn't lose a lot there, like almost everybody else in this second group. Well, she's not even in the second group, she's outside the second group. So it would be really cool to see somebody with bib 33 break the top 15. And yeah, 6th place, only 33 100s behind. I wonder if she's from here and knows this course, or if they just train here a lot, the Italian team, because she's really doing awesome. And she's gonna come through. Holy crap. We have a 3rd place finish. Asia Zenere of Italy in 3rd place. Unbelievable. That's just fantastic. See her come through like that, and that shakes things up. Of course, Mikaela Shiffrin loses some points, 1 point, but really the loser here is now Alice Robinson for the Super G standings, because every point that she loses, every place that she loses, means that the gap between her and Sophia Goggia gets smaller in points. They're still 4th and 9th, which means they both lose a little, but the differences in the points get smaller as you go down the standings. So unbelievable. Italians 1st and 3rd on the Super G standings for today. Unbelievable. All right, that was really something. Bib 33, Asia Zenere of Italy, ends up in third place, and we're not done yet. We're not done yet, guys. We said we're going to go to 39 because I think we still have some people there who are capable, and I think you saw that right now. Let's just find out real quick just how old this kid is. Asia Zenere, she's not that young. She's 29. 29. And she is from Enego. And Enego is... yeah, I mean, she's from this area. She's from like 20 miles away from here. I bet she knows this course really well, this hill really well. So great for her. In the downhills this weekend, she was 31st and 30th. And in the Super G in Soldeu in Andorra last week, she was 24th. So we had no indication really that she was going to do this. I mean, 87 points for the whole year. And now she's going to add 60. Right there, 60 points, a bump her up to 147. It's going to make a huge difference in getting her into the second group. All right, Stephanie Grobe is through in 10th. What is going on? All of a sudden, she almost beat Goggia. That would have been big. 4 100s only behind Goggia. What's going on here? Did somehow the course get faster all of a sudden? 33rd. Asia Zenere comes in 3rd, and now Stephanie Grobe of Switzerland with 35 comes in 10th. This is highly unusual. All right. Fabio Dorigo of Germany. Fabiana? What am I saying here? Fabiana Dorigo of Germany is now on course, and she's DNF. So our second DNF, she just missed a gate. I can see the Austrians won't let me do the live stream anymore, but if you refresh the timing on their site, you get thumbnails every 2 seconds of where she is. She just came over this little hill, this little rise to the left, and then just missed the landing, and bam, missed a gate, and that was that. All right, try to see if I can somehow get the... Now I get the VPN back after all this excitement. Unbelievable. All right, who's next? Janina Schmidt of Switzerland with number 37 is on course. 1400s back through the second time check. Third time check tells all, and we see right away 7500s. So that is over for her. She will not crack the top 10 like two of these last three racers. Again, Asia Zenere of Italy, only 2700s back. And you know what? She just missed second by 1/100. Kaisa Vikhoff-Lee was in second, just 2600s back of Cortoni. And Asia Zenere now only 1/100th back of her. Again, that pushes Robinson to fourth, Goggia to ninth, and I think pushes Schifrin down to 22nd. Yeah, 22nd for Schifrin. Janina Schmidt now beat her, so Schifrin losing down to 23rd now as Janina Schmidt finishes in second. All right, Marta Monsen, last racer we're going to cover today, okay? Solid racer. You know, if you've been following along with me for the last few weeks or months since we started doing this, Marta Monsen was part of that trio that crashed in Crans-Montana. Three of the first six racers, Nina Ortlieb, Lindsey Vonn, and Marta Monsen all crashed. Ortlieb didn't get hurt. Monsen got a bunch of, raspberries on her face. Lindsey Vonn, that's where she tore the ACL in her left leg. She still competed in the Olympics. We all know the story. She went down hard in the Olympics as well, doing horrible damage to her left leg, completely shattering, compound fracture to her left tibia. So just really, really bad. Marta Monsen 2 seconds back. What happened here? She was third. She was through the third time check, only 4,700ths back, and now she lost 2 seconds by the fourth time check, 2:23 into the finish. So I got to see now. Now I have video. Now I have video. It's like they probably put like a 15 or 20 minute hold on my IP or something. But yeah, Marta Monson watching here. What happened? Nothing. I saw nothing. Looked perfectly normal, and yet just losing time, hand over fist. All right, guys, that is it for me. Thank you for watching. We will see you next weekend. One more time, let's get the schedule straight. Let's bring that up here, and let's look at the schedule. I'm going to do it over here, actually. All right, the schedule. The schedule is this, all right? Today is the 8th of March. Next Friday starts a weekend of speed racing for the men in Courchevel. We've got the Super G of the men on Friday at 11 in the morning. We've got the downhill on Saturday at 11 in the morning. And we've got the Super G on Sunday at 10:45. Okay, I don't know why they 15-minute shift. Who knows? Anyway, also next week, we've got the women's giant slalom on Saturday from Are, and the women's slalom on Sunday from Are. Then we move to the speed finales in Kvitfjell in Norway. Saturday, the 21st of March, okay? Mark the date. We'll be here. We'll be doing the live commentary. The men go first at 10:45 in the morning on Saturday, the 21st. We're going to cover both races. And the women downhill Kvitfjell at 12:30 on the same day. Sunday, the 22nd, we're going to cover the Super G at 10:45 in the morning of the women. The women go first on Sunday, and the men go second on Sunday at 12:30 with Super G. And remember, these are compact races. 30 men go down, 30 women go down. Little time in between. Same thing with the downhill and the Super G. Slalom and giant slalom on the 24th, you get the men doing giant slalom and the women doing slalom. Of course, 2 runs, but again, only 30 people. And Wednesday the 25th, the final ski races of the FIS World Cup season for this year, 25-26. Giant slalom of the women, 9:30 in the morning, first run, and the men at 10:30 in the morning. So tight stuff. All right, that's it for us. One quick peek at the race to see if anybody's doing anything else. Nope. Yeah, we are at number 42, which is Sarah Toller of Italy, and her times are way off already. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. We have a clean sweep of the races this weekend in Val Di Fass for the women. Friday's downhill was Laura Pirovano by 1/100th of a second. Yesterday, again, Pirovano winning by 1/100th of a second. And today, Elena Cortoni of Italy first over Kaisa Vikhoff-Lee, and a big sensation, Asia Zenere of Italy third, just 27/100ths behind. The big competition for the small crystal globe for the Super G, Alice Robinson finishes in a tie for fourth. Sophia Goggia is in ninth. So their gap, which was 84 points coming into this race, will be down to about 60 points. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye now.